Hey everyone, have I here, Bruno, video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, we're going to be doing our full breakdown and some fun little team builds for the LR Carnival featured Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. And I was debating on actually doing this full breakdown and team builds, because when you're talking about team builds, Carnival featured, they're 200%. You have one category. It's kind of easy to kind of figure out what you want to build, but I do want to showcase, I want to show you guys the crazy amounts of options and rotations that you can do in the 200% superheroes, because it's just widely OP. And then this unit is very, very valuable if you're going to run the top tier type of units anyway. So let's go ahead and dive into the card arts first, as usual. And starting with the SSR and TUR, I really like the SSR. Way better than the TUR. I think TUR, of course, looks a little bit funny with the action pose there. Kind of less detail, overall comparable like to SSR. You look at the SSR, it seems really nice. Of course, my favorite thing about, generally speaking, the SSR card arts on LRs is that white little outline, and Gamma 1, Gamma 2 looks incredible with it. But even better, the LR card arts. Wow. The animation where it brings in the Gamma and the number 1 and number 2 comes in on the animated post on there. And then, of course, this is a standby unit. So when you go standby, even better. That card art is just absolutely incredible. So A+ job, just like Beast Gohan. I think part 2, they knocked that out of the park when it comes to the card arts and the animations and just the units in general, right? They just outperform part 1 in my opinion, right? And usually that does not happen in the anniversaries, right? Anniversaries, the Dokkan Festival exclusives are generally the better units, and then you have part 2, they're pretty good, but all around, the Gogeta, the Broly, the Beast Gohan, the Gamma 1 and Gamma 2s, they're all incredible. So why are they incredible? Let's look at the stats in of itself. So you look at HP, attack, and defense, over 20,000 on both the HP and attack, and then over 15,000 on defense. So again, really solid stats here with HP, attack, and defense. And this is a int unit, so integrated a little dodge already mechanic in on this unit, but I don't think you're going to need it because, again, they built this incredibly strong. So the leader skill, superheroes category, key +3, 200% across the board. I'm just not a fan of it, even though this builds incredible teams. We have a lot of superhero leaders. We have Piccolo, we have Goat, we have not Beast Gohan, now we have Beast Gohan, and now we have this as well as a full 200%. So, I would have liked to see some other categories get a little shine, like join forces, stuff like that. But in a sense, this unit does help out, those types of units. But join forces is in here as a support. So anyway, first let's talk about the 12 key and 18 key here. Super attack raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes colossal damage to the enemy, and then greatly raises attack for 1 turn, causes mega colossal. So both of them very simplistic. No special items to go with the super attacks there, but the passives is really strong. So starts off with the attack and defense 125% and +3 to key. Now you might go, well, that's really low, but in a sense this is a 200% boost. You're also going to get +3 to key, which will be 6 key, and another 125% when HP is 30% or more. And if you're going to be running the team that I'm going to be showing you later on, you're not going to see your HP dive below that, really any time, I would say. So it's going to be a super strong team. So generally you're going to be running at 250% and 6 key there, which is, again, very powerful. So this is a 3 category support unit at 50%. So highly valuable if you need support units for superheroes, join forces, and defender of justice. So yeah, makes it a lot stronger with that 50% boost and more key, right? We have a ton of key going into this. Now, also you have a chance of performing critical hit 30%. So we've been seeing a lot of crit chance with both Beast Gohan and now the Gammas. Launches additional super attack and has a launches an additional super attack. The additional super attack per int key sphere obtained Basically, you only need to get 2 int key spheres, because if you're able to do that, you can get up to 2 additional super attacks within a turn. So it's not like if you pick up 5, you have that, but it's up to 2 additional super attacks within a turn. So beneficial there, of course, of having these additional super attacks that greatly raises attack and defense. I'm sorry, raises attack defense, so greatly raises attack defense, and then raises attack defense. Then you have another chance of performing a critical hit, 12%, so a lot of crit chance here, and launches additional attack that has a great chance of becoming super attack. Again, 2 additional super attacks within a turn per AGL or STR key sphere obtained. So whether you get int, AGL, or strength, you are going to get a boost. You are going to get a better boost with the int, with the crit hit, with the crit chance. So, and then finally, plus an additional attack and defense 50% and reduces damage by 30% from the start of the turn, which the character performs the 3rd attack in the battle. So if you're just going to keep this unit basically hanging out as a normal support in this form here and not go standby, this is going to be a very strong unit, having this damage mitigation. However, when you go standby, you don't lose a lot of this. So let me show you when you go standby what happens, and probably the reason why you should probably go standby immediately, right? So standby skill here stands by for 4 turns during the charge, which increases one per attack by ally. So if you have a person that's doing a lot of attacks, you're going to build this up a lot faster, and then can be activated when HP is 70% or less, or after performing the 3rd or more attacks in the battle, which you should be able to do that fairly easily. Now, link skills: Android Assault, Red Ribbon Army, Shocking Speed, Hero Justice, Signature Pose, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. Doesn't link well with the other superheroes unless you're running Gamma 1, Gamma 2. And with that, that's the reason why having this support is going to be very useful. Now, the interesting thing about the Gamma 1, Gamma 2, the Gammas, is that it's on a lot of different categories. So it's going to be able to support quite a bit, especially if you're going to run it like on Joint Forces, Defenders of Justice. I don't even know what to even run. I guess once EZA Tech Jiren happens, that team might be a little bit more relevant, but that when we get a 200% Joint Forces, that's going to be really, really crazy. Movie heroes, artificial life forms, worthy rivals, final trump card, special pose, all out struggle, connected hope, accelerated battle, and trusted will, battle fate, and superheroes. So yeah, so again, I think they did a really, really good job, and this is a very, very strong unit before standby. But once you go standby, it's going to be very interesting. So when you go standby here, this doesn't really change, and basically the only thing that changes is you get an opportunity to raise superclass allies by defense 50% for 1 turn, but generally you're not going to run this in the first position anyway, so that's not going to be very beneficial, but it does change once the standby is over, and then it does make a big deal. So when you get into the standby, you still can attack, which is very beneficial. So you get key plus 6, 250%, and reduces damage by 50%. So this is the reason why it's going to be better if you use the standby, because you're only getting damage reduction by 30%, and you still have some of these little issues here when you say, oh, well, I need to have HP is more than 30%, things of that nature. So it just makes it a lot, simplistic. You don't lose the support, this is one of the most important things about the standby and then going into the final form. You don't lose the support. The reason why you want to keep this unit around anyway. Forgot to say this is also plus an additional attack defense 50% when attacking. Then this is the same, right? So these pieces here is the same as when it was in this session here, when you're going to get a crit chance and then an additional super attack per int key spheres, AGL key spheres, or STR key spheres. The only difference is the crit chance is different from these versus this one here. Now you do have a finishing attack, so once it raises your attack temporarily by 100% per charge count, and then causes a super ultimate damage and stuns the enemy, exchanges with Gamma 1, and can be activated when the charge count is 1 or more, once only. So you're going to charge it up, and then boom, you use it. You want to probably use it as, I don't say as soon as possible, but it does do a lot of damage, but you do want to get into, if you're definitely running this unit as more of a support, you want to get this unit to Gamma 1. So once you're Gamma 1, right, the 12 key doesn't change, but the 18 key, you do raises superclass allies defense by 50% for 2 turns. So this is very, very beneficial. So once your turn is up, the next rotation is going to have that superclass defense there, and that's really, really strong, right? So if you have 2 of these and you're stacking in the rotation, then it's going to be very, very beneficial to continuously have this defense up by 50%. And the passive skill now, it does change, right? So you lose 250% off the top. However, it's key plus 350%, and then reduces damage by 15%. But then you get an additional plus 3 to key, attack and defense 150%. Additional damage reduction of 50% when your HP is 30% or more. So that 30% or more will come back into play, but now you're getting attack defense 300%, and then you have some damage reduction right off the bat. Plus an additional attack defense 50% when attacking, so that stays the same. The support's still there, and here's a big difference, right? So changes AGL key spheres to int key spheres, and then chance of performing a critical hit 20% up to, of course, 100%. And reduces damage by 10% up to 50% per int or STR key sphere obtained. Remember, you have now orb changing ability. So shoot, if you get 5 int orbs or 5 STR orbs, you're going to get 50% damage mitigation. On top of that, 100% crit as well. So if you get to this position here as soon as possible, this is going to be the best support, and on top of that can do quite a bit of damage and tank for yourself as well. So yes, they made this unit fine. They made this unit definitely usable in this position here, but once you stand by and get to Gamma 1, you're rocking. So again, I think the design is done incredibly well, and for a LR Carnival unit being this useful for a lot of teams that you're going to be running, it's just going to be superheroes, joint forces, defender, justice, that's going to need some of this support, even though it might be a different team. But some of these units have superheroes, joint forces, defender, justice on those teams, could be highly beneficial. Like, for example, like movie heroes, right? You can have a few characters on there that's going to be, getting this kind of buff. So all in all, very, very solid. Let's talk about link partners. And of course, Gamma 1, Gamma 2 are going to be the TUR ones. That is going to be your best link partners. Generally, you're not going to use them if you're building out a team, especially for superheroes, because look at this crazy 200% team, right? Look at this. You're going to run LR Beast Gohan. You're going to run that with LR Piccolo because, of course, the unit's super attack that's on there. Might as well put them on there. This is a team that you can run at 200%. LR Gogeta Blue and LR Vegeta Blue. Now, of course, the issue of getting Vegeta Blue out with HP and then, Gogeta kind of healing yes, it might not be ideal, but I'm just saying you can run them on the same team at 200%. Now, then you have the Gammas as floaters, and you can run the EZA Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Evolution Vegeta as a floater there as well. It's just a madness, the powerhouse of this team here, and yeah, I said that Beast Gohan runs the best team, and I still stick to that, but this one is not that far behind. Yes, you prefer to have 2 Beast Gohans, but having the 2 Gammas as support while you're bringing in everyone else, it's going to do just fine. So I'm also assuming that the EZA, MUI Goku, and Evolution Vegeta is going to be very, very good units as well. So if we assume that, look at the rotation here that you can run, right? You're going to run, LR Gogeta Blue as the floater instead of, in the main rotation, which is just wild that you have the opportunity to do that. And look at the bench strength. There's tons of units you can run, of course, on superheroes, and I just didn't realize superheroes has a vast majority of the top tier units in the game. But let's say you did not do well in the 9-year anniversary except to pull the Gammas, right? Let's say you pulled the Gammas, couldn't get Gogeta, couldn't get Beast Gohan. If you still have some of the older units, you can still build an incredible OP team, right? If you have MUI Goku, if you have Evolution Vegeta, you have Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, Evolution Vegeta, LR, and you have the UI STR, and you EZA those units, all you need, for example, is like Vegito Blue there, or an LROP, or just something else, and you can still run a top tier team, again getting the support from the Gammas, right? So, and then finally, if you do want to run them in first position for some odd reason, and run them in the main rotation instead of floaters, you can run a team like this, and you can link them up with Gamma 1, Gamma 2. They're also going to then support in one way or another, and then you can bring whatever you want to bring in the floaters as your damage dealers, right? So here I just brought Beast Gohan, I brought Vegito Blue and Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken and Evolution Vegeta. You have whatever options that you do, and we don't know at this point in time when we're recording this video the status and how good MUI Goku and Evolution Vegeta's EZAs would be. And I'm guessing, since we had an incredible EZA to Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken and Evolution Vegeta, and an incredible EZA to STR UI Goku, I should hope for the best for these upcoming Dokkan Festival exclusive EZAs. So whether you're building it without Beast Gohan, or of course Beast Gohan on here in the EZAs, or some crazy team like this, it's top tier, guys. It's top tier, and I'm excited for people to, you know, play and destroy pretty much anything in front of them, because that's what it looks like here. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video here. If you are new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkaning, and we will catch you next time. Later.